Hey guys, so today I'm going to share my everyday work style makeup look. First I start with a simple lip balm. This one's by Neutrogena. It's really awesome. It's like butter for your lips. It's super soft and it's a great primer. Speaking of primers, this is the Healthy Skin Anti-Age Primer from Neutrogena as well. I always use it before putting on my foundation and powders. It's really a great way to start your makeup routine. It evens out the skin tone and it feels really great. It's a lightweight primer, so it doesn't feel heavy on the skin. Normally I'll apply this with a foam brush, but I actually don't have one right now. I'm looking for a new one. So when I don't have a brush, I'll just apply it with my fingers. And actually, sometimes I find that rubbing it in with the fingers is easier as well. Make sure to get all aspects of your face, including the corners and crevices near your eyes. It's really important to blend this color in evenly on the skin so that when you set your foundation, it looks even as well. Next, I'm using a Neutrogena Healthy Skin Foundation. It's a liquid foundation. It goes on the skin really nice. I love the color. I actually ended up getting more of a fair medium color. I haven't gotten too much color this summer, so I've been trying to find the color that's going to work best for me. I really like the way this foundation blends. It looks awesome when it's on, and it has a very nice finish so that when you apply makeup on top of it, it really sets well and it doesn't seem to flake off at all when you're wearing it, which is super important with the foundation. A lot of times I find that liquid foundations can be really heavy, and I don't like my foundation to feel heavy. I already have pretty neutral skin tone, and I just don't want it to look blotchy or anything like that. And again, like with the primer, just make sure that you're getting it across your whole face. You want it to be everywhere evenly. You don't want to have it darker on one side or the other. It takes a while to be able to make sure that you have it even, but it's super important and it'll look so much better if you do. Another thing to note is that I avoid putting too much foundation on my eyelids, as we do put some eyeshadow on there. So typically I'll wait until I'm just about done with the foundation and take what's left over and then put that right on the eyelid so that it's a lighter layer and it's not as heavy, so when you put the eyeshadow on, it will still settle better because you now have a base, but it also won't be too thick to apply onto. I always like Neutrogena's foundations. I've tried a lot of different foundations, but this is the one that I'm really happy with right now. In the past, I've used Estee Lauder and Revlon and a few other brands, but it's definitely hard to find a foundation that matches your skin tone all year round, so I'm always changing them depending on the time of year and if I have a tan or if it's later in the winter and I definitely need a lighter shade. It's definitely important to swap them out. Sometimes foundation can get old and then it doesn't work the same and it just doesn't feel right on the skin, and it's really important to make sure that you're taking good care of your skin. After setting my foundation, I use a powder. This is the matching shade to the foundation by Neutrogena. It's brand new. I just got this shade in. I needed a darker one. I originally got a shade that was a little bit too light, so I'm really excited that I got this one. And this is shade 30. It's about a medium shade, and it is great for lighter skin. I definitely feel like after you put the foundation on, sometimes I like to have a powder that's the same shade or a shade darker. Same with the foundation. I'll apply this powder all over my face so that I have an even base to apply my bronzer and my blush onto and a highlight. This is an everyday makeup look, so I don't like to put on too much highlighter. When I do everyday looks, I really just like to have a very natural, even skin tone with some bronzer just to look a little bit more tan and some blush to give that nice healthy glow. I'll put a little bit of highlight on sometimes depending on the makeup look, but when I'm just heading off to work and doing something quick, this makeup routine typically takes less than 20 minutes. And with the powder, same as the primer, you want to make sure that you're getting around your eyes and in the corners because you want that color to be even everywhere. And so when you start putting on the other parts of your makeup later on, when the look is complete, you just want it to look completely done, even if it is a natural makeup look. If it's not done properly, then sometimes it won't look natural or it will rub off or it just doesn't settle well. So you want to make sure that you're really getting it around your entire face and covering all areas of the skin.
Shh. Looking for my keys.
Next, I'm using a Neutrogena bronzer. I really love this one. It has a mix of 4 different shades, so it actually has a little bit of extra color. There are some plain ones as well I have that are just single colors that also work. I apply this with a smaller brush, and I just put it onto right underneath my cheekbones. So if you suck in your cheeks and you find that line, that's where I will apply it, and I like to apply it with upward brush strokes. I find that it settles better that way, and then I'll go back and circle it later on. For my face shape, I really like to apply the contour also onto right underneath the chin and right in the 2 corners of your nose and then on the forehead, which I'll do later on. I like to make sure it's even on both sides, again, just to make sure that that color looks right. Sometimes it can be hard to blend it perfectly, but trying to get it as close as possible and then making sure that you blend it in so it doesn't look like you have that line. The whole goal here is to make it look natural, and so you can make your cheekbones pop even though it is a natural look.
Bianca.
Bye.
If my package gets dropped off, can you take it in for me?
After applying the bronzer, I use a Healthy Skin blush. I really love the way that these powders look when they're applied. This is a lighter pink shade, so I also have some deeper shades when I want more dramatic look, but this is a really natural blush color. It stands out. It has the perfect amount of color so that it looks natural, but it also isn't too neutral. It may seem goofy, but smiling while you do this makes sure that you get that perfect spot on your cheekbones, which is what I usually go for. So I'll smile and then hit that exact spot every time. And with blush, I like to always focus on the upward brush strokes. It really looks better that way, and it looks more even. So after those aspects of the routine, you're definitely just about done with setting the foundation for your face and moving on to your eyeshadow. And this is a cream-based eyeshadow. It's kind of a gold tan color by Neutrogena, and I like this because it blends really well onto the eyelids. So it's really soft and easy to apply. You don't have to pull too much on the skin, and then rub it in with your fingers or with one of the eyeshadow brushes. I use this as an eyeshadow base. It's a really great color for a base, especially for these neutral looks. They also have it in other colors if you're going for more of a smoky look. But this one's perfect for work or for school or for just for your everyday. It's very neutral, and it also is a great setting for adding on the layers for the other neutral colors. So after using that cream eyeshadow, I'll use the powder eyeshadows. This is one of their palettes. It's in several brown shades. I like to use the medium brown to highlight the outside right on the brow bone, and then I will blend that in. I move in upward strokes and then move back in circular motion to make sure that it's blended in well. You want to make sure that you blend it in with the cream foundation so that it looks smooth and it looks like it was naturally blended that way. Sometimes if I'm using darker colors, I actually like to hold up a sponge and really make that line stand out more, and I blend it in a darker with more layers, so that way the line is exact on both sides. But with this color where it's so much lighter, it's not really necessary to do that. And after doing that brow bone color, I like to use the darker eyeshadow. This is more of a chocolate brown. So I use an eyebrow brush to blend this in. You want to make sure that you blend it in with the center of your eye as well as with that color that you just applied. This color is a lot darker, so making sure that it's blended is key here. I really apply it to the outer corners. It makes your eyes look a little bit bigger. I really like how it makes them stand out, and it does kind of give the overall look of a smoky eye, but it is that very neutral tone for your everyday looks. And then go back with a blending brush and blend in all the colors to make sure that they look natural. This is a great way to make your eyeshadow have that blended, really nice, smooth look to it. This gets rid of any harsh lines and really makes that eyeshadow look nice. Normally I'll use a liquid black eyeliner when I'm doing my makeup looks, but because this is an everyday makeup tutorial that is for work or school or just going out to run some errands, I'm actually using a brown gel liner. I love the way that this looks, and it goes on really easily. I much prefer liquid liner, honestly, but the gel isn't bad. The only problem I find with the gel is that sometimes it rubs off a little bit, so it's really important to set your makeup if you're going to use a gel liner and you're hoping for it to stay on for a longer period of time. But with this brown liner, it's nice because it does blend well with the eyeshadow. It gives you that darker eye kind of look, but it's still neutral enough that it's great for everyday makeup looks. Because this is an everyday look, I am avoiding doing a wing, so I'm really just making it that kind of flat appearance, going right to the edge of the eye and leaving it there. Normally I will try to incorporate more of a dramatic wing. I really like more dramatic makeup looks, but with the brown and with the everyday makeup, I like to just kind of keep it simple and just use that brown and put it right to the edge of the eye so that it looks more natural. Next, I'll apply a mascara. I like to use a waterproof mascara because I like to wear my makeup all day long and I really want it to stay on. So I use the waterproof mascara. This is a really simple waterproof mascara. It gives you a good amount of volume, but it's perfect for your everyday looks. It's not super dramatic, but this is a black. So this is one of their just matte black mascaras. I'll do a few layers on each side, and then I also do 1 or 2 layers on the bottom lashes. I like to try to emphasize the corner of the eyes. So the outer corner of the eyelashes, I like to push them up a little bit more to kind of give that appearance on the eye. Everybody does their mascara a little bit different, but I really like to do it this way. I think that it makes it look really nice, spreads your eyelashes out evenly. I like not to put on too many layers though, because sometimes it can look clumpy, and that's one of the things that I really try to avoid. I hate when your eyelashes look super clumpy and when they just look like there's, you know, 4 big sections of your eyelashes as opposed to a really pretty, natural, kind of fleshed out look. The last part of my face that I do normally is my eyebrows, and I'm still looking for a new eyebrow palette, so if you have an idea, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. I've been looking for one for a long time and haven't found one that I really love yet. I've tried so many. It's hard to find the perfect shade, and it's hard to really be able to find one that looks natural when it goes on. I try to avoid liquids. I really like creams. So because this is an everyday look, I'm just using a cream lip color. It's actually more of a beige, so it's a very naked look. I like to layer over this with a plumping lip gloss, especially later on in the day. I like to carry it around with me. It stays on for a long time and the color really lasts. I love the way that these go on though. They're very moisturizing, so it's not like some lipsticks where they leave your lips a little bit dry after. This one leaves your lips feeling really soft, and I think that that's what's great about it. They have so many different colors. I love the neutral for everyday looks, but they also have some really pretty shades of maroon and purple. They have some reds, all different colors. I just lost my good eyebrow brush, so I've been using this one. It's not my favorite, but it does the job and it works. Sometimes if I don't have a brush altogether, I actually use a toothbrush, which seems really silly, but they work perfectly. Now this is a shine control powder. I use this just down the center of my nose and the center of my forehead and chin. I do get really shiny there, so I like to layer this on just to prevent that a little bit. It also gives kind of a lighter appearance, which helps with the contouring of the face, and I think it makes it look a lot more natural. And last but not least, we're doing the eyebrows. So this is a trio brow palette from BH Cosmetics. This is the one that I'm really loving right now, but I am currently in the market for a new one. I don't love this shade of cream. I'm looking for maybe a more medium brown tone, but this is great for more of a dramatic brow. It is a really dark brown shade, so if you are blonde or if you have lighter eyebrows, I definitely would recommend getting a lighter shade in these palettes. This palette is nice because it has that cream, which I use for an outline, so it's more of a gel kind of texture, but then it also includes 2 powders, one lighter and one more of a medium brown that I go back and layer. My eyebrows get super wispy in the middle, so what I like to do is go outline the outside of the brow with the gel and then go back in and fill it with the powder. brush them out one more time. I, again, like to set my makeup because this really prevents any of the makeup from running off or from chipping or looking like it's not perfect all day long. And I want my makeup to look perfect.